Certainly most clever and funny response was when I tried to set up a patient to get a primary care provider. I said, well, I can get you in next week. And this gentleman said, he looked at me kind of ornery and said, well, doc, I think I have to wash my hair that week. And I said, oh, okay, well, what about the following week? And he said, I think I have to dry it.
That knowledge is power, and that if you do know something, you can still choose how you're going to react to that. You can still choose what you're going to do in response to that. But still knowing is still important, because then at least if you decide to act differently, if you decide to do something about that, then at least you know about it and can do that.
You can be very, very physically strong, you can be mentally tough, but that's not going to protect you against disease. And disease is going to have its way with you either way. And those wellness checks are kind of like wearing your seatbelt.
The guy the other day told me, Doc, I don't care about me. I only care to make sure that my family's okay. This was in response to why he wasn't going to get a COVID vaccine. And you know, I did tell him, I was like, hey, man, your life matters.
The earlier you treat most of these conditions, the easier it is to get a hold of them and have less medications and less visits involved. You're going to catch very inexpensive fixes early on than if you let these problems go until they cause damage to your body and your health.
I think, men tend not to see doctors as often as women do. I think women, because they have this period in their lives where they're childbearing, oftentimes have kids during that time, where seeing a physician makes sense. Men don't have things like that happen. There isn't quite the same pattern of, okay, even though you feel healthy, even though you feel well, to get in and have something checked out and have something done. And oftentimes men don't come in to see doctors until they're starting to have problems and starting to have issues.
High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, and that's because a majority of people won't really necessarily have symptoms. A few people might not feel well and have symptoms of like low-grade headaches or such, but a lot of people, they don't really realize that they have high blood pressure.
And the biggest urologic screening exam that we do is really for prostate cancer. And it's pretty important, I think, simply because prostate cancer is asymptomatic. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer that men can get. And when we find it early, it is something that we can treat with the intent to eradicate the disease.